right, everybody. Hey, we made it to Wednesday morning. Remember, I didn't start this week till Tuesday morning. Picked up this load of lumber yesterday in Monticello, Arkansas. It delivers, I can deliver it today or tomorrow in Waterloo, Indiana. So it's about 7 a.m. Wednesday morning. I'm on 57 North. I'm between Mount Vernon, Illinois and Effingham, Illinois. I'll be hitting I-70 there at Effingham and then cutting across to Indianapolis and then hit 69 going up toward Fort Wayne. And Waterloo is up in there. Still got about 5.5 hours to go. I stopped yesterday at the Flying J there in Charleston, Missouri. And got my clock back about 4:30 this morning. Fueled up there. Doesn't look like it now, but I did clean the windshield. It's summertime, you know, you get the insects. But my paperwork said that the customer requested that you call prior to delivery. So I just called about 20 minutes ago. And, you know, they're on Eastern time, so they're already at work, open. And I told the lady that I'm expecting to be there around 2 p.m., maybe a little sooner. They receive until 3. She said that was fine. My work instructions say that the receiving is only until 2. But the paperwork said 3, and that's what the lady said too. So that's good. That's good. Trying to get there, and the reason I went to all the way, you know, got to Charleston last night is that should, unless I get bogged down somewhere today, you know, I could get from Charleston to the customer according to the GPS in 7 hours and 40 minutes. The key point there is that I should be able to do it under 8 hours, so I don't have to stop and take a 30-minute break. So that's the important thing today, because if I stop and have to take a 30-minute break, then it's going to be a little iffy if I can get there in time. You know, I won't have much extra time to get there during the receiving hours. So there's at least 4 of us Maverick trucks with this very same load going to this same customer. And I just saw one of the Maverick trucks about 20 miles back at a rest area. He was leaving out as I was pulling in. I didn't see who it was. I don't know if it's Chad or one of the other 2 drivers I met. But anyway. And I wanted to mention too, you know, one of the other drivers there, I talked to him a little bit while we were getting our tarps on. He'd been driving for Maverick, I think he said about 3.5 years. He did a couple of years as an employee driver like me, and then he joined up with the Maverick Independent Contractor Division, or IC we call it, where I don't want to go into that too much because it'll take a lot of time, but you know, basically you're not an employee driver, you're an independent contractor. you know, like if you owned your own truck. So basically you're leasing the truck from Maverick. You know, you're on your own. You know, you've got to pay for the fuel, you've got to pay for repairs, you got to pay your own taxes, you don't get employee benefits, so it's different. So I was asking him a little bit about that, you know, how he liked it, what were the advantages, and he said he liked it 100%. And the advantages to him were that he got more choice about the loads he wanted. Like he said on that particular load that we were picking up, that he had 4 choices basically that they gave him, and he chose that one, of course. He mentioned that one of the other loads would have been to go to Malvern to the Reynolds aluminum plant. So, you know, you get a little more freedom over load choices, and you have more freedom about when you want to work, home time. You know, it's not like me, you know, I have some vacation time Maverick provides me, and I can plan it out and work it out with my fleet manager. But IC drivers, they don't have any vacation days. You know, there's no paid time off, but they have more freedom to choose when they want to work or be off. You know, if they don't want to work, they just stay home. So, you know, it's a little different, but I wanted to mention that a little bit. He seemed very happy with it. We didn't talk about the money or anything. You know, it's handled completely differently. You know, you basically, I think, my understanding is, you know, you get a percentage of the load payment, and then, you know, you have to pay for the, you know, your leasing charge to lease the truck, and then there's a forced payment that Maverick takes and makes you put into like a forced savings account, so they know you have money put back for repairs and maintenance. But, you know, I'm just mentioning this a little bit because it is out there. It's available if you want to go that route. You know, I mean, I've thought about it. I even, you know, right before I started making these videos in January of 2021, a couple months before that, I was actually planning to buy my own truck, not through Maverick, but I was going to buy my own truck and sign on with a company close to where I live that only utilizes owner-operators. And I just decided not to, just because I didn't want to have to worry about maintaining the truck. I know I could have made more money, but, you know, at my age, I'm 60, and I just didn't want to have to worry about owning the truck, maintaining the truck. You know, if something happens to me, or if I get ill or something and can't drive, then I got a truck to deal with that's not making money, and I got payments on it. So I just decided to stick with this. You know, it's worked out fine for me. I'm happy with it. But I'm just mentioning all this because it's, you know, you got options. And this fella, this IC driver, oh, what else was it I was going to say? I skipped that part. Anyway, I forgot what I was going to say, so I have to skip part of this. But I'm trying to remember. Let me pause this. I'll pick it back up in a minute when I remember my thought. And another interesting thing that this IC driver mentioned, well, I asked him about the fuel cost, because I've talked to other owner-operators that work for small companies, you know, small fleets of maybe 4 or 5 trucks, and they said that the fuel cost is killing them right now, and they're not getting any help with the fuel increase cost. So I was curious how that happens for Maverick IC drivers, and he said that, you know, there's a fuel surcharge, and I'm aware of that. I've seen that with other companies. You know, I know that there's some sort of built-in fuel charge on top of the normal payment to the driver, and he said that's what's happening now with Maverick. Is, you know, there's a fuel surcharge that gets added to his payment, and that currently Maverick gives all of it to the drivers to help them out. He said sometimes part of it goes to Maverick and some of it goes to the driver, but so I guess that's working out for him. But you know, I actually saw something on the news last week where they were interviewing a small owner-operator, you know, that had a handful of trucks, and he was complaining that, you know, he's probably going to have to go out of business because he's just having to eat the fuel cost increase, and how bigger fleets like Maverick, he didn't mention Maverick, I'm just using Maverick as an example, how they're able to absorb the cost better than a small owner-operator, you know. So I don't know, it's kind of interesting. We'll see how that all plays out. But, I guess, you know, and I don't know what the profit numbers are like for owner-operators or Maverick, but let's say Maverick's making 20% profit on freight normally, and then with the price of fuel gone up so much, maybe they're only making 10% profit. You know, they're still making 10% profit on, I don't know, what do we have, like 1,000 trucks, 1,100 trucks, something like that. So maybe it still works, you know. But if you're an owner-operator running 1 or 2 or 3 trucks, and your profit goes down to only 10%, you know, it becomes, you know, and that's your livelihood, you know, that's the money you have to make a living on and pay all your bills, then it becomes a little more difficult. Something to think about. But anyway, that was interesting conversation, learning a little bit more about the IC operation. He seemed perfectly happy with it. So I'm just mentioning that because it is an option. You know, once you get to Maverick and you get trained, get out on your own, you know, after you've driven for a year or more, then you might, if that's something that interests you, you can talk to the folks that do the IC work and go that direction if you think that's what you want to do. All right, guys, we'll keep on driving. All right, folks, quick update for you. I'm gonna stop here at this rest area. I'm on 69 North, about an hour and a half from my customer. Just wanted to show you what one of the best rest areas looks like. You can see once I curve to the left here, this rest area has lots of spots here to the left and the right. Plenty of room for your truck, plenty of room to turn and exit. Very nice. I wish they were all like this one. And then you got the building over here, the facilities over here to the left. You're probably not going to be able to see them very well, but I'm going to do a quick load check, make a cup of coffee, and get on up to my customer. I'm still on target to make it around, let's see, probably at least by 2, maybe a little bit before. Okay, guys, so I'm approaching my customer here in Waterloo, Indiana. This looks like it to the left. It's supposed to make a left turn here onto Highway 23. The name of this place is Richard Squire Pallets. I guess they make pallets. Alright, I've never been here before, so we'll learn this together. I don't see any signs yet telling me where to go. Maybe this forklift driver can point me in the right direction. All right, here he comes. He's going to tell me what to do. Hello.
Got one ahead of you. Pull on down, pull past where you see that truck sitting on the concrete on the left. You can't see it now.
Okay.
Pull on past that, you can untarp very well.
Pull to the left?
Just pull up the side of the road down there.
Okay.
While you're waiting for him to get out of it.
Okay.
He's untarped, he just started untarping.
Thank you. All right, so he said there's another Maverick driver that just started untarping. I'll be able to see it down here to the left. Oh. Well, I don't see him yet. Maybe he's pulled in here to the left. Oh, there he is. Oh, he must have come in from a different way. Oh, I guess you have to back in there. Okay. That's the Maverick IC guy that I was talking about earlier. All right, so I'm gonna pull over here so it'll be easier for me to back in. Got a road mower down ahead there. I don't think he'll have to come up past where I'm gonna be. All right, well, let me get parked here and I'll start untarping. Okay guys, so here's where I'm parked. Just a little county road there, and their property circles back around here. But they had me park here and get untarped. I was able to spread my tarps out here and fold them up. And I've already gotten unstrapped. Just to remind you, this is what we got. We got a third Maverick guy that's pulled in down there. And then the first Maverick guy is parked right here, getting unloaded. That's the Maverick IC guy. So just waiting to get into the unload spot. What I'll do is just back in there after he leaves and goes out that way. He's already been sent his next order, going to Butler, Indiana, Steel Dynamics, which is where I hope to go to, and delivering in Wisconsin. But he's a USA division driver that he said he stays out 4 or 5 weeks at a time, so where he goes at this point is probably of no concern. All right, more later. Okay guys, so I'm getting unloaded. I think he's on the other side now, but you can see he's got 2 sections off the back so far. There he goes right there. So they make pallets. There's a bunch of the product I'm bringing in right there. They got some pretty good size pallets right there. And lots of stuff back in there. So that's what it looks like. Kind of got lucky with the weather. It's clouded up and a little breeze blowing, so it's not too bad out here. I heard them say on the radio a couple hours ago it was like 87 degrees, which compared to what it was like in Arkansas, that's a cold front. So anyway, just showing you around. Just give you a little shot of the unload here. Typical lumber unload. That's it.